Hey, what's up everyone? So, the title of the video is what it is. We're gonna look at my attitude here, my 28 IBG 2020, and kind of go over some of the things that Eclipse said that they were going to fulfill and fix, send to me, whatever, but still haven't come through. I have not got one email back from them, so I think they're just kind of brushing it under the rug, hopefully hoping I'd go away. So I can't wait until April hits my 1 year mark since I purchased this trailer brand new, and then my extended warranty goes through, and then I won't have to worry about any of that. I just get whatever I want fixed, minus my deductible. Of course, I'm not gonna sweat the small stuff, so let's kind of get into it. I believe one of the videos I uploaded before, I talked about the water tank or the water supply line going to the toilet, and that sprung a little leak, sprayed everywhere. No big deal. That cost me a few $100s, a couple $100, and nothing really extreme. Now if I had my extended warranty, I would have just gone through that and it would have cost me like $50, whatever my deductible is. Sorry, I have a... So it's been a while since I've done a video, and only because, well, got a broken toe, and I've broke my toe back in October, but it's still not healed. It was a complete break, unhinged. It was like really bad. So my doctor, my wife's boss, the surgeon, he reduced it for me, set it, but he said it's probably going to grow back a little bit shorter because it cracked out at 45. But it was completely off. I mean, my toe was hanging like that. Anyway, been hard for me to get around, hard for me to do really anything, but I did want to make this video. So I keep my trailer somewhat clean. Sorry about the mess here. As you guys can see, we're still cleaning up from our last trip to the desert, and it's just a lot of work if you want to keep your stuff really nice. I like to keep everything nice. As you can see, I don't know if you can see on camera, but everything's pretty shiny, pretty cleaned up. The typical trailer, especially where we camp in Superstition, close to like what is that, Ocotillo, I'd say. So for you guys like more up north, if you come down from Ocotillo Wells, you'll hit Superstition Mountain, Superstition OHV, whatever you want to call it. Plaster City's out there. They do a lot of testing for trophy trucks, stuff like that, because it's just really big, like huge whoops out there. So they like really cycling and watching our suspension articulate. But anyway, I clean everything up. I'm always inspecting things, and just like my last trailer, my old outgoing trailer, I was always checking for leaks, because there once was a leak on that, but I fixed it right away. And so I didn't want anything to happen with this one, especially along the top, where the gutter is. So where your gutter is, and your roofing material, EDPM or whatever you want to call this stuff, or TPDR, I have no clue, I forget what it's called, but anyway, the acronym for it. But yeah, it comes down, and then it gets basically sandwiched from your gutter onto your wall, and then there's a bead of caulking that goes along the whole deal. And you definitely don't want that to leak. If it leaks, I say a little bit behind the gutter, it's going to come down. And some people's RVs, you'll see where they have streaks sometimes, because sometimes there'll be like a screw hole or something like that, holding on your gutter, and it leaks a little bit of water. Just kind of like at the ends here, when you have it's barely dripping, and you'll see people's sides of the RVs, and it'll be dripped down. You'll see the hard water. What I use is I use Meguiar's waterless car wash, and it's the white stuff. It smells really good. But what I do is I try not to use like a bristle brush or anything on my trailer. If I have to, then I will, but it's super soft bristle brush, sorry. And then I go over the whole thing with my Microsoft rags. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of those, Costco of course, and then my Meguiar's, and it turns out really good. And those water spots the streaks tend to come off fairly easy, I'd say. Got to put a little elbow grease in them, but I'm gonna contact Permaplate or whatever they're called, and tell them to give me a kit, because sometimes when you get a little put a little more elbow grease in those areas, you can take off your protective finish that they put on here. So anyway, my issue was, I noticed coming back from one of our desert trips, and I forget which one it was. I want to say it was Thanksgiving. I noticed that this molding or strip, whatever you want to call it, was hanging down to about right here, and broken screw, and this one was completely missing back here. Now I know in the shakedown period stuff happens. There's a screw hole here. I'm not sure what that was for, and I got these little micro cracks here in the fiberglass cap. Now I believe it's just because it's on a round corner right there, and then there is wood that butts up against that, so any flexing would probably put a little stress on that, and I'm assuming that's normal. So what I did is I went in on Amazon because well, again, Eclipse is failing again. Not the first time I heard this. Is pretty much across the board with Eclipse, but I asked them. They said, "Oh, we'll send you out some stuff." I said, "Hey, obviously I sound pretty handy on my email. I've fixed my old trailer. I do little things like this, and they're not that hard." So I asked them for the whole strip, the full length or width, plus obviously a little bit more, you know, because you want to have room for air, and then some butyl tape and some black caulking, because I wanted a black to match some of this black caulking, like this black RTV stuff, whatever you want to call that. And I waited. I'm not gonna sit here and wait for my trailer to get waterlogged, and it was dumping pretty good for several days. So what I did is I just fixed it myself. Now right behind this corner, I could see wood, and wood was exposed on that corner, and I'm assuming that's the flooring. So because it was coming in at a horizontal, so the only thing I could assume was that was the flooring. It looked pretty thick, laminate wood or whatever you call it, or laminated wood, or plywood. So anyway, you know, things like this are gonna happen. I went and bought the black RTV stuff and the butyl tape, and actually let's go take a look in my shed. I would edit this out, but you know, let's go take a walk. I need to exercise this toe anyway. What's up, dude? Hey, what are you doing? Huh? What are you doing? Yeah. What's up? Dude, you're gonna trip me up. Alright. So let's go in here. Let's move some of this crap out of the way. Alright, so yes, I do keep a one of my chairs in from the trailer in here. There's just way too much stuff. I put the quad, all that stuff in there. It just builds up way too much, or it just takes up too much room. So anyway, I did not plug my RTV tube, which I probably should have. So I'm assuming the rest of it's still good in there, but I don't know how much of this I'm going to use. To tell you the truth, I think it was like 10-12 bucks. If it dries up, it dries up. Sometimes there's no saving these things, no matter what size lag bolt or whatever you put in there. But yeah, this is what I used. ProFlex RV flexible sealant from GeoCell. So it's from GeoCell. I don't know if that's focusing or not, but anyway, what is this made out of? Let's see what material this, or what compound this is. So ProFlex RV flexible tripolymer sealant. Contents: tetrachloroethylene. Yeah, tetrachloroethylene, whatever that is. Anyway, works really good. I like the way it dries. It doesn't dry really shiny. It doesn't have a sheen to it. It's kind of matte or dull, if you want to call it. And then I went and got some of this. And this is your good old butyl tape. I forgot what size I bought on this. I want to say it's the 3/4 inch. And this probably says it right here. And it does not say the size. But anyway, no, it works really great. For my application anyway. They sell all kinds of colors of this butyl tape and this ProFlex sealant stuff. And you can go down to any hardware store and buy yourself some self-tapper screws like they use. I had a couple extra self-tappers because I replaced my speakers on the outside of this trailer with some Polks, and not super high end. Oops. But I used that Beetle tape behind. I had to use adapters or risers or spacers, whatever you want to call them, right behind there, because of how deep that magnet goes on those new speakers. And I need to amplify it because the stock radio in here sucks. But yeah, anyway, so the purpose of this video, and actually when I was looking on the side earlier when I started this video, I still noticed this screw hanging out. So look at that, I can do that by hand. I'm gonna have to get back behind there and see if that's even biting it into anything, or if it's just holding two pieces of sheet metal together, which is stupid. I'll probably have to either put a piece of material behind it for something to bite into, or use a regular bolt of some sort with a washer. I don't know. So if you need to seal your trailer, now let's see. I haven't checked the other side. I totally forgot to check this other side, and you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So if you kind of look up in there, so you see the original Beetle, they used that brown stuff, and I didn't like that, but there's a little gap right there, and I wasn't too worried about that one because that one doesn't look as bad. This one was pretty bad. It was open to the elements right here. It was happening. I saw the water drip right here, and it was just, you could see the wood was wet. I mean, it was definitely wet. I didn't like that, so went ahead and did that. Very simple, for the most part, cheap. But again, guys, you know, I contacted Eclipse. Kevin, their main sales manager over there, was in really good contact with me for a while, and then communications kind of dropped off for some reason. Don't ask me why. Just stopped communicating with me, and stopped getting me to the right places. He was kind of facilitating this whole thing, me getting to the right warranty. There was a guy, Haroon. Well, the person's name was Haroon, and someone else I forget. But anyway, a couple guys I know don't work there anymore. I was dealing with about a year ago, so I don't know if it's due to the pandemic or they just, maybe they were just crappy employees. I don't know. But yeah, as far as the company, they're kind of a crappy company because, well, you know, like I said, all these different things that I'm trying to get handled here, I don't know. I think they would have better warranty, especially, you know, the first year. Everyone knows they buy a new RV, the first year's under the manufacturer's warranty. That's why I bought the extended one. So anyway, if you got to do little fixes like this, real simple stuff, man. Again, I try to use leftover stuff. So when I took the screws out of my speakers, they were holding my stock speakers to the trailer, and I save all that kind of stuff. Those little hardware things, you never know, we're going to need to use it, or something's going to fall out, something starts backing out on the side skirt right there, whatever it might be. And I actually used those long, because they were a little bit longer self-tappers for those speakers. I used them up here for this, and I got them to bite a little bit deeper into that wood, so hopefully they won't back out. The fact that the other screws snapped, a little concerning to me, but I've been out twice now with this fix and nothing's moved, so, you know, cross my fingers on that one. I'm trying to think of anything else. I do notice now, I went to my RV place, Webb's RV. I've mentioned it several times on my other videos, but my awning, it seems like, I don't know, I need an automatic push button on there so I can go on a ride, come back, and then maybe it'll be in by the time I get back. Super slow, man. My RV guy said, oh, it is what it is. Now that's a Lippert thing, so has nothing to do with Eclipse. That's pretty much it. So I have some plans in the near future, or at least maybe when the desert season's over, because desert season, anybody that goes to the desert knows how much it can cost for just one trip, especially if you have a family. You get all your food, your water. Well, we don't pay really much for water, but really anything. But it's the food, the fuel, and anything else you're going to bring out there. So easily, you know, a 4-nighter, 5-nighter out there could cost you $600, $700 every time. And if you're going once a month or so, when the, you know, during desert season, you know, that stacks up pretty fast. So come springtime or so, or when it starts warming up, when desert season's over, probably gonna add another battery, or I might take this battery out completely. The stock one that comes with the all the Eclipse has some contract with this company. I don't know, they seem like they've got a good battery, but they were on hold for a while because from China. But anyway, I believe I'm gonna go Battleborn. Seems like they got a pretty good selection, and they're all available, and they're not, I wouldn't say local, but here in the US anyway. And they got representatives you can actually talk to. This other company, I don't think you really talk to anyone. But I want to do that, and I want to do a Victron inverter, just a 2000 watt. The 3000 watts like 45 pounds, and I really don't need that much. I'm going to do the 2000 watt, which is around 25 pounds ish. So it's a little bit lighter, and I'm going to do that all back in there, probably right next to my transfer switch. So if you guys want to see something like that, I didn't really see the install. He didn't really do an install video, but he talked about it. You can go to Eddie's Life. He does a pretty good video on his setup and what he went with and the reasons why. And the biggest reason why is, hey, you got young kids and stuff. Sometimes they wake up in the middle of the night and they can't go to sleep. They want to watch a cartoon or one of their favorite shows to go back to sleep, or they just won't go to sleep. They want to watch something that, you know, they're, instead of them bouncing around the trailer, you can put a movie on for them. They can watch it for a little while before they go to sleep, because they're all wound up. They're in the desert, you know, and they just, it's like, you know, sort of crack to them, you know. So I run my mini generator. I have it out right now, and you can see, I'm making this video super long, getting off topic here, but anyway, here's my mini gen. I've mentioned it before in other videos. Works great. It runs 24/7 out there. You can see how dirty it gets. But you can imagine running that thing for 5 days straight. I change the oil every time I get back. But it's just, it's somewhat inconvenient, because now I like the transfer switch on this thing. I can keep the mini gen running. We got to use the microwave or AC. I start the big gen up. When that's done, shut it off, and you still got all your power, except for the TVs. It's not fast enough for the TV, so the TVs, both of them, will shut off when you go from the big gen to the little gen. Not the other way around, but I don't know why it does it the other way. But if I had the inverter is so fast. That Victron is so fast. It's got all kinds of cool stuff. It's hybrid mode, all kinds of reasons why you should buy it. But if I did go with 2 Battleborn batteries, $1,800 plus the Victron, it's like $1,200. So you see where I'm going. It's going to be pretty pricey. Is it worth it? You know, my $400 generator that uses maybe 5 gallons of gas, or if that, when we're out there in the desert, I don't know. The inverter plus the batteries will not pay themselves back. Maybe by the time the life of this trailer, I don't know. But it's more the convenience factor, and it's cool technology, new stuff. You know, people blow money on stupid crap all the time, so why not? Back to the actual topic of this is, take care of your trailer. Look for cracks. Look for seal leaks. You know, I understand that manufacturers should be more conscious of when they're building stuff, and take a little more pride, put a little extra caulking where it belongs, or self-loving stuff. But, you know, they're humans, and they're in a rush and whatever. So it's your responsibility as an RV owner to pay attention to these things. And actually, right on the outside of your trailer, well, at least mine anyway, it says right here on both sides, right on this door, main door, exterior seals must be inspected and maintained every 3 months. Please refer to the care and maintenance section of the owner's manual. Right there, you can't miss it. You're coming in your main door. And if you just forget, because you're so used to going in your main door, and you're over here doing some maintenance or dumping or something like that, whatever it might be, there is one on this side, I believe. You guys caught me in a lie now. You guys caught me in a lie, unless I blew it off. Maybe it's over here. Okay, you guys caught me in a lie. I swear to God, I saw one over here on this side. Oh, maybe I hit it with a pressure washer and maybe it fell off. But anyway, you guys know what I'm saying. And it even tells you to always check your wheel lug nuts, or wheel lug torque and all that stuff. Anyway, I don't see one on this side. I think I remember I saw the sticker fly off because it was barely on there. But you're usually not on the side. But anyway, always check your seals. Check for your seals for leaks. Because if it's an obvious thing, that's something you could have prevented. I don't know how warranty companies work, but they could deny you, possibly saying, hey dude, that thing's been open for freaking 2 years. You didn't, I know you noticed some type of moisture in your trailer of some sort. So be mindful, get on top of your roof, clean your roof regularly. I haven't been up on my roof because of my brokenness in about 3 months, but it's time soon. I need to get up there, and I use a very soft bristle brush with a very mild detergent. I use like a car wash soap, something that's going to be really easy on like a clear coat for, like, say, a showroom car. Definitely use something like that. You don't want to use something that's too caustic up there, something that's going to really strip anything off. And then all your AC covers and your vent covers and all that stuff, I would use a microfiber rag. And then you know, if I'm using foam can or something like that, obviously it's on top of it already, the soap. Or if you have a bucket up there, make sure if you have your bucket up there, put a rag underneath it, because some of those buckets you had on your concrete, they can have sharp edges. So put that on. Anyway, just kind of give them a good wipe, you know, give them a good wipe. Clean off your vent covers, because all that bird crap and stuff that sits on there and cakes on there for months and months and months, if not years, people don't get up on their roofs, it eats away, it deteriorates it. You want it to be fresh and clean all the time. Just regular dust floating around in your neighborhood is enough to cake on a trailer, on the top of your trailer, on the outside, anywhere, and start doing its damage. It's kind of like, you know, you got solar panels like on my roof right there. It gets harder and harder to clean if you don't clean them all the time. So luckily that's more of a glass instead of something like this. You know, check everything. Check everything. I always go over everything. Stuff like this, I contacted Equalizer. They said sometimes that happens when you're turning really sharp and the L bracket can bend, but I'm always paying attention to it. Did it bend anymore? You know, making sure that everything is intact. You always check your chains. I have to go today. Stuff like this happens. Here's my my breakaway cable for the brakes. Breakaway switch, and my cable come out. Now I barely did anything. I just was yanking on something, trying to get my chains off. They came right out of its crimp. So can you imagine going down the road, my breakaway switch doesn't get activated because the cable was not crimped properly. So I'm glad all this stuff's happening now, but sometimes you just gotta, you can't depend on manufacturers, you can't depend on anyone else, depend on yourself. So super long video. Maintain your RV, maintain your trailer, maintain your coach, whatever you got. It's a little extra work. It can be intimidating, it could be frustrating, it could be all of the above. Just do it. And if you don't want to do it and you have a warranty to cover it, well, just be prepared for your RV to maybe be in the dealership or the service center for months upon months, because right now they don't have a lot of people working, and while you booked all these trips, you got to cancel a whole bunch of them. But that didn't have to happen if you would have just maintained your stuff in the first place. So thanks, but no thanks, Eclipse, for, you know, helping me out here. It's been months upon months and still haven't sent me nothing to fix my trailer. And yeah, so just a little lesson learned, guys. Dealing with Eclipse, just do it yourself. Wait for get an extended warranty, and don't bother going to them unless you live by them. Then you can just drive straight up and drop your trailer and say fix it, you know. But who knows? All right, thanks for watching, guys. Super long video. Sorry about the long video, but I just like trying to gather everything here in one video. I'm gonna try to do some more videos, shorter ones on just random stuff I'm doing, you know, with the bikes, the Razor, stuff like that, you know, just to, I don't know, there's certain little things that people like to like, they go to YouTube to figure stuff out. But if there's any questions about how I did that or whatever, I kind of showed you the materials I used and whatever. I mean, it's so much straightforward, but that's subjective. So comment down below, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Later.